Okay, so today I'm going to do a visual effects breakdown from Kendall's music video, Your Love. This is the shot that we're going to go ahead and show you today. This shot is a pretty good example of showing you some of the visual effects work that I do that you probably never catch, because it's simple things like fixing something that doesn't need to be in the shot. I do this a lot in a lot of my videos because there may be a cool location that we're like, we love this, but there's something wrong with it, and I'm like, you know what, I just learned how to fix that, because there always seems to be something wrong with some sort of location area. So this, I'll show you what I'm talking about here. So here's the clip, and as you can see, the rays of light are fake, and I'll show you that it's a plugin. It's really nice. I use that a lot in my videos. It just kind of enhances lighting. But anyway, so there's two things in this shot that you probably already see right off the bat. That such a cool area and cool shot, but these things ruin it. First off, you're going to see this little light stand down here. Now, there's a quick trick you can do to remove that, and simple. You duplicate the main shot, and you then just move this down like so, and then you take the main shot and you mask around the stand, just like that, and then you want to subtract it, and then you feather it. It's a very quick little fix, and after you add color correction and all that stuff, you'll hardly ever see it. Now that's a really quick, sloppy kind of fix for it, but it can work, and especially if you're not looking for it, you probably never really notice it. Now, to do it the right way, though, for something like that, I would actually just take the main shots. I would screenshot this. I would take a high-quality screenshot, then go to Photoshop, and I would actually take that out in Photoshop and then mask it out and fix it that way. But this is just a quick little fix if you needed to do something fast, and that's just the best way. Now, the other thing you're going to see in this shot is this outlet here. I could not remove that. It was just part of the wall. Now, this one's actually really easy, and you can get away with doing the technique I just showed you. You're just going to duplicate the shot, and then you're going to move it down. Because if you can see, it's all pretty much the same. It looks identical. And in fact, it may just have a little bit of brightness difference, but you can actually fix that. So all you want to do is you're going to take the footage that's underneath, and you're going to move it down. Because that's what you're going to use to be your background. So now you're going to go in and you're going to mask out that outlet. So just take your pen tool and go in and mask it out. Right, so we want to make that subtract, not add. There you go. We're going to want to feather it, and we'll get it just about there. A little bit of feathering, and you're going to use the expansion a little bit, about right there. All right, so we can actually move the bottom footage to make it match better. Probably about right there. All right, and then we're going to take a brightness and contrast tool here, and we're just going to, I think it's a little bright, so we're going to darken it just a little bit. About there. That's going to be pretty close. So it blends in pretty well. I mean, you see it now. You can kind of see where I've masked it because you're looking for it, but I promise you, once we get all the other effects on it and the color, you're not going to see it. Things like that are simple things that I do in my videos all the time. You would never know it. Anyway, so I like to use the Cinescope, so it covers up my mistake with that lighting stand. But as I said, that room was really small, so I think I couldn't get around having that light stand there. Anyway, so now that we got the Cinescopes in, we're going to place her exactly where we want her in the shot. So there we go. So I like that framing. I think that's what I want. All right, so now what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and add in those light rays. Really easy effect to do. You just take the main shot, you duplicate it, turn off all the other shots, because we're going to use the Luma key here in a minute and take out everything. So we want to see what we're taking out. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and remove, I'm going to mask out the floor, because it does have some like highlights in it, and I do not want those being picked up when we Luma key. So let's go ahead and mask that out. I'm going to mask and subtract. And she also has some highlights on her, so we want to go ahead and kind of mask her out as well. So we'll just go ahead and do a quick little kind of trash can matte of her, like such, just so that way we don't get too many highlights on her. Oops. We don't want her glowing, at least not in this video. All right, cool. So we have all of that subtracted out. So now we're gonna go to our effects and luma key. As I said, one day I will learn the new tool that does this, but you know, creature of habit, I've used this a lot, so this is what I'm gonna use. All right, so we're gonna start keying out the darkness. And we just want the window light. So we'll get rid of that, and then we'll get rid of a little bit of this is fine that this is disappearing, but I think that's probably pretty good right there. All right, so the next effect we're going to use is called fast or radial fast blur. So this is going to be our light rays, and watch what it does when I just plop it in. Look at that. Look, we're already getting light rays. It's as simple as that. We're going to increase it, and then we're going to take this center point and we're going to drag it up so the light rays go down. And we're just going to increase because we want a lot of light rays. We want it to be pretty intense. So there we go. That's as easy as adding light rays. Now let's turn this on. Look. Oh, we have light rays. It looks crazy. Cool. All right. All right. So now that we have that, really, the next thing we want to do is that she is kind of dark. And if you've noticed, the highlights here are really bright, but she's dark. So we want her to be a little more, a little brighter, because once we start adding contrast and everything, this is going to be a problem. She's going to get kind of dark. So we're going to do an adjustment layer, and the reason why we're doing that is I'm just going to add like a spot fill right here, and with the adjustment layer, we'll be able to add a null object later for the push effect that we're going to do, and the null object, or the adjustment layer will move with the null object, so the light will stay where we want it, if that makes sense. Hopefully it will in a minute. So let's take looks. Add this, and there's other ways you can do this. You can take the whole scene, brighten it, and then mask her out, but that's a lot of work. I figure this is just a quick and easy. This is actually what I did in the main video. So we'll just take this, and looks is being a pain. Does not want to cooperate today for some reason. That's why it's every time I move something, it blackens out the footage. So probably what we're gonna have to do when I color grade this is move it to her main shot. So that's way too bright. So let's just do like one stop. 1.10 is probably fine. Yeah, that looks a lot better. Okay, cool. There we go. So now she's lit up a lot better. Looks better. And once we get the color on there, you'll see. Okay, so since looks is being kind of a pain right now, I'm just go ahead and color her main footage. So I'm just going to add looks to her, and I'm going to color here, noting that she is going to be brighter, and we're also going to have an array of lights. But as I said, since looks is kind of giving me trouble, we're just going to go ahead and do it this way. Anyway, so I'm just going to find a good spot. I kind of like to do it somewhere in the greens and blues for the shots. And then we're just going to go ahead and use contrast and some curves. So I'm just going to add quite a bit of contrast and quite a bit of shadows. I just want the black and the chairs to be pretty dark. So we'll do that. And then we're just going to add a little bit of mids back and a lot of highlights back. There we go. So we're going to do that right there. That looks pretty good. We might actually add a little more contrast. A little more shadow. There we go. Nope, that's too much shadow. We don't want her too dark. Oh yeah, I just said we're lighting her up more. Anyway, so we're just going to take that and we're going to remove it. And we're going to add it to a new adjustment layer. Oh, we also want to bring down her brightness to underneath the light rays. We don't want that. Brighten up the light rays as well. We just want it brightening her up. So anyway, so now we're going to add this looks to the shot, and there we go. Now we have this like really beautiful looking shot, and now you don't even see that. See, I told you, it would just disappear. Little things, little tricks. So and then that did help. That brightened her up, made her stand out more. Yeah, so all we have left, we're going to make a null object to create that fake push because the room was so small. We couldn't get anything in there like rails to actually do a real push. So we're doing a fake one. So let's go ahead and do the null object real fast. So the null object, put that there, and then we're going to put everything except for this adjustment layer. We don't want to move that one. This one we do because that's where we have the light. We want it to move with the shot. So as I said earlier. So hopefully that makes sense now. All right, so now everything's attached to the null object. We are going to go ahead and animate this null object. I like to do position and scale. I don't always end up changing the position, but you know, I just do it just in case, because sometimes I do want to. Anyway, so I think we're going to do 109. and I think that'll probably be exactly what we want. So I'm going to turn these rays off. Oops, no, that's this. So that way we can kind of look at this push real quick. That speed honestly looks pretty good. I think we're probably spot on with the 109. Yeah, so that's it. I did add particle effects. I don't think that's necessary. I mean, I just took some particles and tossed it over it, and that's about it. I mean, it looks like my rays are a little brighter in the new shots than it is in the old. But as I said, the same concepts. Maybe I just didn't do as intense. Maybe it was a little less. I don't know. You just kind of play around with it. This is just how I did the effect and how I got it. And also, like I said, I wanted to show you how it would fix other problems that may occur. I mean, this looks cool and all, but if I hadn't fixed that little problem with the outlet, it'd be an eyesore. I mean, come on, look at that. That looks bad. So little things to just fix little problems that just remove any eyesores in the shot. It can be way easier than you think. And I think if I eventually have something to show for more complicated, like removing something in a moving shot, which I've done before, I just don't know where it's at. But if I ever can find that, I'll show you how to remove things in more complex shots. But anyway, this is how I did this scene, and I hope that you learned some stuff. Just simple little video, little clip. But yeah, thanks for watching.